Oh, welcome to my gallery and studio.
It rains at a particular time of day.
I've decided this year to do something a little different. I'm calling it Elsewhere.
I think it's my back.
For 3 weeks, I'm having 3 separate exhibitions. Last week was all about Japan. This week is all about Thailand. And next week is going to be all about England. In 1980 and 81, I had a very important trip in my life. I'd been planning on going to Japan for many, many years, and I was there in all almost 9 months. I painted and drew and photographed and traveled, footloose and fancy-free. It was a very formative time in my life. And part of that trip, in Japan, every 3 months, you had to leave the country. So you could get a new visa and come back for another 3 months. I said to my friend in Japan, well, I have to leave the country. I think I'll go to Taiwan. He said to me, Taiwan is so square. He said, why don't you come with me? I'm going to Thailand. Now, I'd never really heard of Thailand. My idea was it was somewhere near Vietnam. And this being 1980, that wasn't a particularly good recommendation. So I went to Thailand, I bought a ticket and flew to Bangkok, and boy, did that place ever amaze me. Just completely blown away. I mean, as you know, I'm a white bread Protestant, Toronto Canadian. I had no idea what Southeast Asia would be like. The sensory environment was extraordinary. The way things smelled, the colors, the gracefulness of the people, the music everywhere, the spicy food. I was completely unprepared for it. So for me, just to get up in the morning and walk around, look at things, draw, paint, sketch, photograph, it was great. Over the course of 2 separate trips to Thailand, accompanied by Sarah, woman who became my wife, we did so much documentation that when the trip was finally over sometime later, in the next few years, I gathered up all the documentation and I put it all into a very large series of scrapbooks. Every letter, a postcard, painting, page from the sketchbook, photograph, poster, bus ticket, it's all there. And I love the stories. I love telling the stories. I'm fascinated by being able to look onto the details of the paintings and realize I made this while I was there. It's filled with the atmosphere. So I've decided this year that I'd bring out these chapters of the story and show them off here in my gallery. As you can tell, the walls are lined with paintings of both mine and my wife Sarah's paintings. On the table are the scrapbooks for people to look through and see the references of where the paintings were made and what we were thinking at the times. I've also put up a display of historical paintings. These are 19th century manuscript leaves from Thai and Burmese paintings, the ones we bought in Thailand at the time and brought home. There's music playing in the background and stories to be told. It's a different kind of an art show, but it's a lot of pleasure for me.
It was not, no, it wasn't a big strike. No, that's what they call it. No, they didn't. It was a knock this down, and well, no one would, they couldn't fix it up. It was unfixable. Built it from there. No way they could fix it up. You went in front down the door, and it went down 13 inches in 20 feet. Then it went up again. The rough inside of the subfloors and
Wow. No, I sort of like the logical progression of it. What I've seen of it is the public area.
well, we did, having started from scratch again, and you know, our old house, the studio was in the back in basically what was a bedroom. And it was really kind of awkward having people traipsing to it. So I said, well, we designed it so that the front would be much as convenient for us. Well, there you go. I hope you had fun. Okay.
Thanks so much for coming. Lovely to
I
share.
think you should add doing votes to your list of things, and one day maybe we'll have you do our vote. We've had since 1984.
Done your vote before now?
But it doesn't put it on the list. Many people would like to have the votes.
Boat owners are hard to please.
Oh.
You did the
Yes,
the
yes.
margarita.
Yes, the 27th in the afternoon is taken, but otherwise
That's a Friday.
Now then, what books would you like today? Two of them. Okay.
Christmas.
Oh,
Christmas
excellent.
game.
Lovely. Well, now,
Yes, I can't afford
with the tax included, which is a teeny weeny bit cheaper, that's 50 and 2 lots of 20 comes to $90 even. And then, yeah. Lovely. Oh,
Is it very nice?
not now, it was nice.